funny thing is, I went through it and everything. And the funny thing is, when I went to see him about that job at the Pink Pussycat Boutique, the only requirement you needed was you had to have done EST. That's how I got the job.
No way.
Yes. And we would have like an EST-like meeting every week to get over our conceptions and resentments and shit like that. Really, it's true.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, yeah, we had
Yes,
to
as
do
a
that.
requirement for a sex shop.
Therefore, there wasn't a large employee pool, so I got the job.
I guess that's the 70s for you.
It
Yeah, it
was.
was very much a kind of 70s spiritual self-help sort of trip.
I liked this. It was pretty good. I mean, the point
Yeah.
again is the dilemma of not a clear pointing at what's going to follow, no matter how powerful or weak or extreme or peak event. As if you're still here, the head is going to turn on. Yeah, and that program is going to have you being the one who got the experience of est. Yeah, just the way
I
it
don't
goes.
remember much about it except that they kind of broke down your um, self model or something. I don't know.
They had it was a method. It worked. It was good. You'd come out of it, you got it, so to speak. And and the proof for me was we drove home after the last day and we took the Long Island Expressway. And if you've ever been on the Long Island Expressway, it's quite an ugly road and it all looked beautiful. So I really something because I
It
had
worked.
been on that expressway tons of times. I never had that adjective to describe it. So yeah, it was cool. And yet it again, uh, that claiming neuters everything. Yeah, it just
Yeah, so it
does.
didn't last, right?
Well, yeah, it may have left a lasting impression, but that was sort of, it's almost as if these things may provide like a tattoo, but the programming tattoos over it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not you doing it, it's mechanical. So, but that was completely unbeknownst to me. Completely. I never heard any of that understanding, and I wasn't seeing it in my own laboratory, whatever. And so basically, that whole operation we try to point out occurred. And again, what happened was all these things that could have been enough to trigger something uh, were used just to trigger more of something. Yeah. So it didn't stop at est, obviously. You did other things and then other things, and then trying to hybrid one thing with another thing to get a result. And the dilemma was, and without knowing it, this activity was going on and planting our point of view in a false ID. So that the obviousness is the sheep and lion story. Yeah. So
Yeah.
you are a lion, you get to see that after you've been living as if you were a sheep. You get to see that, and then the parable ends as if that sets the rest of your life as a lion. But that's not how I saw it. I saw many moments where I saw the lion's reflection and saw mine as a lion. And I didn't see the moment after that that the sheep program arose and claimed it. I just didn't see it. Yeah. It's almost
Yes.
like if a glove appeared and your hand was softly put into the glove and then the glove was taken as your hand. Yeah. It was a quick move. I'll tell you, I've seen it. Uh, One time I saw it in slow mo, which is pretty good. Yeah, I saw the claiming in slow mo. So I was, if you don't mind, we can start now, eh, Mike or whoever. Yeah. So I was and it doesn't matter where I was. It was, but I was in Bali in Indonesia, and we rented a van and we were driving around the island. It wasn't that long of a drive, and stopping at places. And of course, like everyone else, I loved waterfalls, and we were looking for waterfalls. So we'd stop at a village and we'd ask them, "Is there any waterfall near here?" And one of these villages on the north shore, the northeast shore, said, "Yeah, follow this trail at the end of the village and you'll find a waterfall." So we did. I was with my friend and her son and me. Her son was 8 years old. And we climbed through this stuff, beautiful jungle, and we get to this waterfall. And it's a pretty thin waterfall, not too high, but it has three beautiful pools. And so I go into the waterfall, and when I was in there, I felt something, and then there was, as a response in me, there was a yes to whatever was being felt. Yeah. And then I went into one of those fugues or whatever you want to call it, and it was cool because the woman was there and a kid, so I had witnesses, which was cool. And then I was going through whatever, and just my my adult physical structure of the face dropped, and it was like the greatest like skin makeup you could get. All the wrinkles disappeared, and it was just a real like every muscle released. It was a very whatever. And so I was just going where there was no me and there was no idea of what's going on, which is the fact. There is no me. But in this case, there was no me on an experiential level. And it went on and on. And then I don't know how long it took, but I remember I was sitting there and then I heard a voice. Yeah. And I didn't know whose voice it was. It seemed to be behind a rock. It sounded a little far. It wasn't that the volume wasn't that loud, but it was moving, and it seemed to be moving towards me. So, and it was talking to me slowly, and then it hit a point where it shifted into talking as me. Yeah. So it was almost as if something had been dispelled or expelled and was coming back in. It was really interesting at the time. So it was talking, talking, talking. And then to me, and then it suddenly talked as me. And then it just went in, and it was almost like putting your hand in a familiar glove. And then the whole event got claimed. The flagpole was put in it. The girlfriends did this and did that. And then it seemed to start waning. When we walked through the jungle, looking at one drop of water on the leaf for like 10 minutes, fucking seeing, illuminated universes in there. All that was going on. But then Paul basically got in a van and we drove to another beach or something. Yeah. Yeah. It had tremors that lasted a while, but it had been neutered. Once again, the voice that was talking to me presented itself at one point as me, and then it talked as me, as the one who had the experience. Yes, that's what happened. And just like I've noticed many times when you have one of those interruptive events, some people would call an epiphany, they end usually when your head says you're having an epiphany. Yeah, it's just the way it goes. And I had no idea about this stuff. I didn't. And I feel like uh, a warning could have been valuable. Yeah, if I was warned that there's a mechanical activity in the mental activity that's going to claim whatever happens, Paul, whatever you think happened, or if it was good or bad, it doesn't matter. It's going to claim what happens to refer back to its idea of you, which, let's say in the picture of the lion and sheep, as a sheep. Yeah. And then the revelation of your nature as a lion will be now interpreted as an experience, maybe even a peak experience that the sheep had. It's just the way it goes. And now, when I was introduced to satsang, non-duality, and that was like an understanding of what's going on. So when when shit's happening, it's not, it's It's not happening without knowing it. I know it now. There's a seeing of it. Yeah. And that seeing of it is key because I don't know, maybe some people do. Maybe I don't seem to be able to live in a peak experience. I can't seem Bliss doesn't seem to be 24/7. There's gushing love doesn't seem to be always the surface condition. It doesn't, not especially as the action figure. And if there's a subtle identification as the only sign is bliss or eternal or stability and this and that, I'm gonna miss the everywhereness of it. Yeah, I am. And and to me, the everywhereness, the dog shit awareness, the always available at all time awareness, not based on your condition, but based on its condition. Uh, it's just a
I James and I are buds. Like
it's just
I have no interest in him physically. I am totally
it's yeah, it's now I'm interested in hearing that rest of that conversation. That was I hope people don't have personal Zooms that sometimes get turned on when we're having a Zoom. I didn't know there were personal Zooms, but whatever. So this this idea, when I finally heard it, and maybe it had been said and I had read it, but I hadn't heard it. When I did it through satsang and through satsang of non-duality, that's why I'm here. I mean, if it was satsang about the cult of Kumbaya, I'd be a member of the cult of Kumbaya. But that's not how it happened this way. And here I am. Yeah. I heard an understanding that explained this phenomena of no matter how heavy or bright or clear or how low or this or that of the experience or of the event, there's going to be a claiming of it. Yeah. And you're going to be a glove is going to be presented, and the familiarity of it is the hand slips in. That's it. And so this became very valuable to me in the hearing of not of satsang and the hearing of the understandings of non-duality. And it was so valuable that something that was coming through told me, do not move from this point because it's pointless. Because if you don't have this understanding as an aspect of your seeing, you're going to be looking from that which we're trying to exchange communication about. Yeah, you're going to be looking from it. The lion will be forgotten as your nature and will be remembered as an event that you may want to or you really want to have again. That is not the message. The message is not becoming a lion. The message is you're not a sheep. Yeah. The the fact that is just doesn't even need to be said. That's the basis of non-duality is being ourselves reality. So in this example, it would be being ourselves lion. So there's no need to mention you're a lion. What needs to be noticed is you're not a sheep. Yes, it's as simple as that. If you see you're not a sheep, what are you going to find out? You're going to find out you're seeing not a sheep as a lion. That's how it goes. And it's not like as a lion that just was manufactured at that moment, but that sense of lion will feel like you've always been a lion and you always will be a lion. Yeah. Yes. It doesn't need all the repetition and reinforcement that the sheep identity needs because you're not a sheep. Yeah. So for something that isn't so to appear to be so, it has to be made to be so every fucking day. A lion rests on its own nature. Yeah. You don't have to take roaring lessons if you're a lion. If you're a sheep wanting to be a lion, you're going to have to take a lot of roaring lessons. Yeah. You're going to have to get a lot of hair straightening. You're going to have to do a lot of activities to keep that pretense of being a lion available. But the lion in and of itself is self. Yeah, it's just there, 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 there. Yeah, so find out what you're not, and you'll discover what you are. Instead of trying to find out what you are from what you're not, find out what you're not from what you are. Simple as that. Yeah, simple. And when the head, because of the habit, goes back to the thing of trying to see what you are as what you're not, satsang's here to allow that to get habit, where that habit will break. Yeah. The little thing like won't go back to seeing from what you're not. Sooner or later, it can be broken. Yeah. And satsang, I feel, is an incredible methodology for that. Yeah. Because you'll it, you'll see the flip flop. You'll see, oh, yeah, I was seeing what I'm not, and now there's this. I'm looking from what I'm not, trying to look for what I am, and okay, it gets. And after a while, the habit is now to stay in the aperture of seeing from what you're not, which is always the case. Seeing from what you are, I mean, the what you're not. Yeah. And then it clicks in, and now it's in the habit of staying in that instead of having to be, seemingly reminded to go. Now it stays there. Yeah. The habit becomes a new habit. So I don't waste a second looking for what I am. Yeah. Don't. Yeah.
Works for me.
Yeah. It's in here. So that's the whole point. And why won't it not work? Because truth doesn't need thought and effort. It doesn't. Falsehood needs a lot of thought and effort. Truth doesn't. If you finally fall upon something that's actually true, it's not going to be a call to arms. It's going to be a disarming. Yeah. That's the effect. It's disarming. It's not, okay, another path, another drum beat to go this. No, it's just chill out, see what happens. Yeah. Maybe right now, being awake to right now is more than enough. Yeah. 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 So that was a trip, though. It was an interesting thing because I felt the voice was coming from space because it didn't seem to be where I was at that moment. And it took time for it to talk to me and then shift to talking as me. Yeah. But that shift was, you knew that had been lubricated for a while, even though it had been disrupted pretty powerfully by this little event. It still had enough oil to just slip right in there. Yeah.
And you
And
weren't under the influence of any special Hawaiian
no,
mushrooms or
no, no,
anything.
no, no. I was sober at the time. I'd been sober for a while at that point. And maybe, no, about 8 or 9 years, 7 to 9 years. No, no, no. I felt an invitation in the waterfall for whatever that is. Something, I sensed something. And there was a yes. I didn't say it out of my mouth, but I said it somewhere. And then I got a free sample. But the real value of it was the end, to tell you the truth, where the voice started as just a voice, and then as it moved seemingly closer, its action was not talking as to me, but as me. And then yeah, that to me is very valuable because it was something that happened so fast. It was slow time. Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes you can see something when it's slowed down easier than when it's very fast. And that time was very slowed down. I could see it coming, but I still didn't have the wherewithal. It was a phenomena that wasn't met with any understanding. Yes. So the same thing happened. The mechanical, it just took a little while longer because it had been whacked pretty well, but it recovered. Yeah. It recovered and got back on the saddle again. Yeah. So,
I wonder if such uh, an experience could somehow be reproduced. It seems like it might be valuable, or if it's just the understanding that is really all that matters.
yeah, I don't think it can go any way it wants, but if you think it can only go one way, you're missing it, because it doesn't need any way. It may express itself here through a way, but the way isn't producing it. Yeah. The way is being used as an expression of it. So, yeah, there doesn't need to be any form or expression. I feel you've had enough already. It's just to have the right pair of glasses to see the emphasis of it. Yeah. We're misreading a lot of shit because we're still looking at everything with a pair of self-centered glasses. Yeah. And
Yeah,
so
it's not
that's
any
the
particular.
oversight. Hmm?
Yeah, it's not a particular experience that counts.
No, because if it's an experience, it's going to be drowned in the mechanical claiming.
Yeah,
I feel you need to have an understanding, because a lot of shit happens without knowing it. And I think why a lot of shit happens is combined with the without knowing it. I think when you know something, it may affect if it happens or the effect it's going to have when it happens. Because the claiming is going to happen, but I believe with the right, if you see it in a certain way, uh, the effect it produces may be quite different. Yeah. Yeah.
partly I'm asking because I have a friend who really into the ayahuasca and the doing it over and over. And I said to them, and she claims that it's the same as satsang, the same experience. And I was trying to explain that it's the understanding at satsang to me that seems to be the difference, that has made a difference over a long period of time. That there's something that's always true, but
Well,
yeah, it's like the spiritual car
Eric,
wash.
let me jump in because, after doing like 13-hour a day retreat, meditation, walking and things, that never happened through that. And I have talking to a lot of people, especially up in Canada. It was funny. I was doing a talk in Canada and I was talking about how I wish I could just go to Peru and, put fucking, you know, plant colors on my face and fucking crawl around, licking a toad and shit, and go through this and, have a serpent tattoo on my arm and write a blog about every day, and then come back and write a book about it and become a circuit speaker on the ayahuasca circuit. And so after I did this little riff, the guy after the meeting says, "I can't believe it. You described me perfectly." And he had a T-shirt with us, and his arm had a serpent going around it. And he's a big ayahuasca guy, and he has a blog, and he's written books. And he shared with me that this understanding was missing in all of that, because the people have these great events, but they think they had the great event. They always come out of the ceremony as the one who was in the ceremony. Don't you see that as missing a big something? Something big is being omitted in the yeah. It just, so I feel uh I here in time and space, I feel what keeps us afloat may be an understanding. Yeah. Not about what we are, but about what we're not. Because what we're not is going to keep appearing. I mean, the activity of selfing keeps appearing. Yeah, it does. At least here, I've met people, maybe it's happened to them, but they need attendance. I mean, they can't walk around. They're usually in a cave in India and they have two people watching them and, making them rice and fucking soup or shit. They're not walking around, paying their phone bill and stuff like that. So I don't know. I feel like the action figure has certain demands in a way to be an action figure in time and space. Yeah. So I mean, you don't want to miss a meal or like a raw dessert by not, when they call you to the table, you don't know it's your Paul. You want to recognize Paul means I'm going to get the dessert. I don't want to miss out on all that stuff. Do you? I don't know. So I humbly feel because I did this stuff and all those experiences never really explained this this mechanical activity of claiming whatever goes on and in my neighborhood as being the one it's happening to or doing it. And so I heard it, and when I didn't hear it actually. I didn't hear it. I didn't hear it in satsang. So I saw some stuff in Ramana Maharshi when they write about his teachings, and one of the clearest things that triggered this sense of, yeah, that's how I was seeing it was there. He says that there's a presupposing of a non-existent thing being existing. Yeah, that's the presupposing. So something must be presupposing that. It's not you, it's the mental activity, I feel. So the mental activity presupposes the non-existent thing, the body, to be an existent thing. Yeah? So it doesn't recognize the existence that may be moving through the body. It sees the existence as the body. Yeah? So it's the body that's existing, where the statement from Ramana was that the body is a non-existing thing. Yeah. But the head, I don't believe, sees that. The head sees the body as an existent thing. So it presupposes the non-existent thing as an existent thing. Yeah. And then wants to get salvation, whatever that means, for the non-existent thing. And he says, if this is the case, and because of the emphasis he puts on it, I believe he believed this is the case, that this is going on without us knowing it, your spiritual practices themselves are reinforcing the non-existent thing. How can they destroy it? Yeah? I think that's the whole description of what we're sharing, in a sense.
Their claim is that in the ceremony, these Peruvian ceremonies, that they're experiencing no self, that the self temporarily disappears, and in that high state, they're able to get rid of all the bad in the way of their real self through this ongoing process, so they feel purified afterwards. But to me, there's a presupposing of some entity there that's being purified, right?
Well, there's a lot there, so and there's nothing here, and there seems to be a lot there. But I'm not speaking from. I don't take ayahuasca or anything, so I don't know. But there is no existent self. There's a claiming there's a self, and I don't think the claiming that aspect of the mechanical nature of the mental state, I don't think that's being affected by the drugs. I just don't. I think it's sort of like a real strong case, like a virus that has gone through so many times, has mutated, that it has almost a shell to peak experiences and fucking radical purifications. And once, there's one moment where there's a breathing out, it sneaks in and claims the whole fucking thing. But I don't know. Maybe why do they keep taking it then?
They claim that it benefits them, like they've gotten rid of they would have died from smoking and and so maybe it has some benefits.
But they didn't. The ayahuasca doesn't do it. That it's mind, big M mind. Ayahuasca is in a dream state. Yeah.
I just
It's
wonder why
mind
they're so
using
defensive
that.
about it.
It's mind. See, this is captured to me in the Course in Miracles, where it says, you and I are the dreaming of this dream. Yes? And we're going to dream ourselves out of it. And as we do, the dream is going to get happier. Yeah. So where does ayahuasca appear? It appears in this dream. Yes. It seems to grow. It's two plants, right? So it's appearing in this dream. The organic thing called ayahuasca is appearing here. Yeah. Let's say mind wants to take the long way home back to itself. So it says, okay, I'm going to take this drug and I'm going to use this drug to seem like I open the door to where I already am. Oh, great. So it's ayahuasca. But it's not the ayahuasca doing it. The only thing that can do anything is mind, big M mind. Yes? The
So
ayahuasca
couldn't you
can't do
argue?
shit. Everything is a non-existent thing. It's given meaning from mind, big M mind.
So I could say the same thing about a teacher, though, a spiritual teacher or a
Of
satsang.
course, you bet you should say that.
Okay.
I don't
I'm
think
glad.
it has anything. Fuck, you don't get stuck there. That's like, remember, it's the message, not the messenger.
Yeah, exactly.
It is. The message is there's something before everything that there's nothing before. Yeah. So there's something, it's not a thing that's before everything, and there's nothing before that. Yeah. Therefore, like it says in the Course in Miracles, you and I are giving everything all the meaning it has. Now,
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
not saying Paul and Steve is giving everything all the meaning it has. It says you and I, meaning what we are, is giving everything all the meaning it has. Now,
Yeah.
that meaning is being interpreted through the lens that it goes through, which is a self-centered event. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. So if you took undifferentiated light and it went through a lens, it could seem to differentiate. Yeah. So here, the lens is a dualistic lens. So the undifferentiated comes and it differentiates. And so now you see this and that. Now you see yes and no. Now you see this or whatever. But without knowing it, that which comes after is only appearing after before because of the before. So this is what I have with, you mind if I share? We're not speaking to that question anyway. You know,
Good.
when
Yeah.
people share with me about trauma is the cause of a lot of shit, yes? But it isn't, because it's mind again. Mind gives the meaning to the trauma. Yeah. I had it. I was in a very bad, I got run over twice by a car, and they sent me to one hospital. It wasn't equipped to deal with my condition. So they helicoptered me to a teaching hospital in the middle of Long Island. And I was put in a ward with a lot of people with extreme damage, like a lot of motorcycle accidents, where I had 10 compound fractures, broken hip, broken shoulder, lacerated stomach, my bones were sticking out everywhere. And all the people that in this thing. And they wanted us to talk to each other and hopefully stay in touch when we left for some support. Yeah. So now here we had this basic same degree of trauma. One person who never drank started to drink a lot. Yeah. Another person who drank a lot stopped. Yeah. There was all different reactions to the same basic trauma because mind comes before the trauma. Mind is giving the meaning to the trauma, and then the trauma gives that meaning back to the action figure. The trauma is not the origin of the situation. It's mind, I feel. Yeah. And now there's a big thing. Get to all the traumas, clean out all the traumas. But mind is still there. Yeah.
What I hear people saying is it's somehow stored in the body, or it's like a current, it's like an energy pattern. Even
I
if it was,
I don't know. I'm not a I don't know how, my body's pretty thin. You couldn't store much in it. Yeah. I mean, there's not much. I don't know where you couldn't have that much to store. You're talking about an idea in the mind. The storage is the mind, not the body. The body you can't store much in there. It's full of organs and shit already. It's mind, dreaming. Have you ever heard this statement in Buddhism of emptiness? Everything is empty of any real meaning. Yeah, it's not real. Yeah, we're the only reality there is, not as Paul, but as what's looking. Yeah. I wanted to get to this thing we did the other day. Do you mind, or does anybody have a question or whatever? All right, I take that as permission. Okay, so I think we did it just, forgive me if we've done this just a little while ago, but I like it. It helps. When I was running around, in the spiritual thing, there was a lot of Zen sayings, and one of them was, first there is a mountain, then there is no mountain, which seemed to be the goal. And then there was a mountain again. So the frustration of a goal not being completed. So first there is the mountain. That was the basis that we took. That was our understanding. First there is a mountain. And we wanted it to not have a mountain. And we, let's say, worked hard and we did this and we did that. And then we had a few moments that there was no mountain, always to be followed by the mountain reappearing, the stubbornness of the mountain reappearing again. But what would happen? We're not trying to add anything to it. We're trying to put something before it. And what we're trying to put what we're putting before it is maybe first there is no mountain. Yeah. Okay. So here you start. First, there is no mountain. Suddenly you see a mountain without knowing first there is no mountain. In the appearances, there seems to be a mountain. And you would like to get relief from that mountain because it seems to be bothering you. So you work very hard to have that mountain disappear or at least get smaller and shit like that. And it always stubbornly seems to become the mountain again. Yeah. Because the basis is first there's a mountain. Then there's also going to be, there's going to be a mountain. Yes? But what happens if the understanding is first there is no mountain? And then, okay, now you see mountains as an appearance in a sense. And basically, usually you're not going to have that much interest in making the mountain disappear because no matter if it's appearing or not, there is no mountain. Yeah. So you're not going to be bummed out when the mountain keeps reappearing because you're rooted with the belief that there is no mountain, you see? But if you start with there is a mountain, then you want to get rid of the mountain, it always seems to come back. Well, what happens if there is no mountain? It's completely different. This is the understanding, I feel, of non-duality. There is no mountain. Being ourselves reality. Yeah. You are what you're looking for. Does it say, did we miss a piece of the paper? There was a page that came right after that. You are what you're looking for after you fulfilled 850 requirements and did this and had that, purified this, cleared this out, and then you are what you're looking for. No, it says right now, what's looking is what you're looking for. With no requirements, no conditions, no purification, no getting over this or over that. Right now, what's looking is what you're looking for. Now, do you want to still have the emphasis on the you that's looking for it? Because if the emphasis is the you that's looking for it, you're going to try to clean up the you, aren't you? Because you feel like if I'm going to meet what's looking, I got to look better than the you that's looking for it. Yeah. So I obviously, because I'm projecting my requirements on what's looking, which does not have those requirements. I'm projecting the mental requirements that I've got to be purified. I got to be this. Who's playing God there? Yeah. What's looking? The the gateless gate, the open secret. What's looking now, here? It's not what I thought exactly. Great. It doesn't seem that exciting. It doesn't make me anything else. Yeah, exactly. I can't write a blog about this. Be like a boring description of a simple, boring life. I'm not even going to get a tattoo on it. I'm not going to get a non-duality tattoo. Yeah. I'm not going to go to a non-duality ceremony. Yeah, there's nothing new in non-duality. 2024 started, passed, nothing new. Just like 2023 and 2022, there's nothing new in non-duality. I've had people in the past when we were more doing live meetings. I had people who were, I humbly felt they were experiential junkies. Yeah, they wanted experiences, and they somehow were hoping they were going to get an experience at a Zen bitch slap meeting. They quickly found out. They quickly found out that's not what was on offer. Either they left that night, that day, or never came back, or maybe they lasted a week or something. But they moved on to greener, more exciting pastures. Yeah. Nothing right or wrong with it. They didn't like a piece of cod. They wanted to have it sushi fried or something, and we're not budging. Yeah. What I feel has moved me, I am attempting to move you with. That's it. Yeah. This is how the cookie crumbled where I'm sitting, and I'm trying to reverse engineer it and share it with you because I feel you're living under the same cookie. Yeah. I do. I have a true feeling that there's not much difference in our situations. Maybe in our situations, but the situation. Yeah. And I'm just going to put out it. I'm just going to keep putting it out that way. There's no effort on my part. I do not have to keep reading to present what has happened. Yeah, I don't. It's living now. Yeah. You know, what comes and goes can be a shitty day, bad stomach, and stuff like that. Do you know what happens every time I come to satsang? Every one of my physical conditions, or circumstantial conditions, or financial condition are forgotten as if they were never here to begin with. Yes, because truly they've never been here to begin with, in a sense. Yeah, I come here, it's like taking a wonderful dry shower for an hour. And then when I get off, after 20 minutes or so, I'm sure my head is going to claim the ache in the stomach and go, bah, this has been 4 days, and da 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 da, do its thing. Yeah. And I don't expect any less from it. I don't. I don't. I do not. I do definitely do not expect it's going to learn much. I just don't. I'm not sitting and waiting for it to get it, because it can't get it. It cannot get it. Yeah. It believes its absence can be experienced. It wants to be there to experience its own absence. What is that? Walk away, Renee. Just walk away, Renee. Yeah. Yeah. So, all right. There you go. Anyone have anything they like to share?
Yeah.
Just
Wow. Who is that? There was two people. vying with virtual hands. I want to see virtual hand combat, hand-to-hand combat. Who's going to go first?
I can't find the hand.
I think. All right. Who's Mike? You're gonna be Solomon. You decide.
Yeah, Floyd's up, and Dana, if you wanted to go, then you go next.
All right. Oh, Floyd is first, and then Dana. All right.
Okay.
All right, Floyd.
Talk to Floyd. We don't
I
hear
can't
you.
hear you well. Hold on. Try again. I can't. We can't hear you.
We can't hear you. Just heard something. Can you hear me?
I heard you now. Yes.
Okay. So there is, as you said, we're trying to play God. And there's a situation in which I feel, I don't know if I'm trying to play God, but I have this behavior or tendency. Yeah, I told you, I think I shared this before, that if I'm with people for a long time, I sort of get irritated with them. So I cannot do people for a long time. So is it that I need to change something, or it's like I'm clueless. Am I trying to play God by changing something, or is it just
No.
who I am? I
No.
cannot, yeah.
I get it, Floyd. But let me humbly say it. This is not. It's just this truth. It may not be the God's honest truth. I'm just going to share for me. You are not playing God. The mental activity is God. Yeah. If
Yeah.
you have noticed, if you have noticed that the action figure can only handle so much societal time, make sure
Mm.
you have some breaks and spend time alone.
Mm.
Yeah. Maybe it's a good indication you've had enough and you need to take a break and chill out a while.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I think most of the time this action figure is chilling out. But the action figure feels, that okay, maybe at some point I'll be non-functional because then I cannot date, then I cannot, sort of that is the mind, going on.
Yes, yes.
Does that require intervention, or is it that you just observe it, or what does the action
Well, it
figure?
matters. It matters about the severity of it. If it's making you act out and do stupid things, maybe you need to do something about it.
Hmm.
Or if it's not, you just see it. But see it and greet it with, I'm not that. Because, see, the interest in it is because it's about you. And if you
Hmm.
negate that, you may lose interest in it quicker. So
Yeah.
just not in a like, army like salute type thing. I'm not that. Just as a relaxed, hey, I'm not this. This yapping once again that implies there's me, Floyd, who doesn't want to be with people and that he should and all this shit. I'm not that. Okay, and then move on to the next thing. What's going on? Yeah,
Hmm.
and maybe a lot of stuff appears. You don't even have to greet it with you're not that because it's just a little ripple. It's not
Hmm.
affecting the pond in a hole. It's a little ripple
Hmm.
in this. Yeah, it doesn't even deserve a mention. You just da da da, and you'll see. And if something is irritating to a certain point that it's provoking you to do something, then you probably have a lot of skillful means at hand. Just use one of them.
Hmm.
Yeah, like drop your shoulders, take a few deeper breaths than usual, whatever. Look at the
Hmm.
sky or something. Yeah, there's easy ways. See, to go back to where you already are isn't hard work.
Hmm.
Yeah, it isn't. It's quite easy, actually. I mean, the imagination that it took a while will get broken quickly, and it'll take a second. to go where you already are. It doesn't take even a second. It just appears to take a second. Yes. See, the thing here, Floyd, is what you're relying on, I humbly believe, is actually true. Most of the shit we relied on wasn't true, which means it demands a lot more reinforcement because it's not true. When you're relying on what's true, it doesn't need as much reinforcement, and it gets lesser and lesser because of what? It's true. It's like it says in that reading from Ramana Maharshi, being ourselves reality. Being, that means right now. And he did not write a list of what momentary condition you have to be to find yourself authenticated as reality. He said, being ourselves reality. Being, that means if being is an ongoing event, there's no moment where you're not being reality. You may have a moment when you think you're not reality, but you're being that moment while you think you're not reality as reality. Yeah, this is what's gonna, when this thing sinks, it becomes an island. It doesn't drown, this message. It's solid. You can rest there. It's based on truth, I feel. You are what you're looking for. Yeah. And that which is playing God isn't what we would call God. If it was, it wouldn't have to play it. Yeah. Henry Winkler, after a while, didn't have to play the Fonz. He was the Fonz, so to speak. Yes. If you have an Americana with Happy Days. Yeah. This way, something that's playing God obviously is not God, using that terminology. I don't like the terminology, but for the joke, it's good. Yeah. Yeah. So you're not playing God. Floyd is not playing God. Floyd seems to be at the effect of what's playing God. That's the dilemma. You would probably be doing much better if you were playing God. You're not. Something's playing God on your ass. That's the dilemma for Floyd. Floyd would love to be that which is playing God, but Floyd is what's being played. That's why Floyd likes to play God on other people, because it's a way of getting over the fact he's being played all day.
No,
Yeah.
it's not. The way I'm trying to play God is when I'm trying to say, oh, maybe this should not be my behavior. This is not so evolved or something
Remember,
like that.
Floyd, I can see that from the peanut gallery. It's not you. It's not,
Yeah.
there doesn't have to be critical observation. Every one of us sitting here has heard the same retort from the head in a similar situations. It's not you, bro. It's not a singular stream of fucking data. It's like a broad bath. It's you. It's we're all listening to Unclear Channel. It's the franchise. You all sound the same. We're hearing it the same fucking way. It's called self-centeredness. It's not called Floyd-centeredness. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. If you want to get engaged, Floyd, or you're going to be dueling Floyd as Floyd. Yeah. If one Floyd dies, the other one gets bigger. You can't win. You know,
Yeah.
you just got to see you're not that. Either that Floyd or this Floyd. Yeah. Yeah. And you don't do that as Floyd. You don't see you're not that Floyd or this Floyd as Floyd. You don't, that's not, I don't feel work. It doesn't work that way. You see it from this truth. You see you're not that Floyd, nor you're not the retort of that Floyd as that Floyd. You're not. Yeah. I think you have to negate it that many times. Two will probably do, really. It's like a weed that has had a great career because you think when you cut it once, it kills the weed. No, it appears twice. Yeah. It's that which is saying it's the seeing, and then you see that, and then it says it's the seeing of the seer. And then hopefully you catch it, and that's non-duality in action. It's not two. You just saw the appearance of two. It's not that. That's non-duality, active non-duality, negating of the two. Yeah. You can't get it more in the moment than that. Here's the two. Floyd, without knowing it, we've been looking from a manufactured idea called Floyd. Then we become aware of that. So now we see Floyd. Now that seeing of Floyd gets claimed by Floyd. Yeah. Another side of Floyd, maybe say the more handsomer side of Floyd, and the head side of the coin and the female side of the coin. Now you see the head has claimed to be the seeing of the female, the tail side. Yeah. That you throw the whole coin out. Yeah. This Floyd, that Floyd, not that, not this.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Thank you.
Sit in the awkwardness of sitting in the flow of Floyd, and it feels dirty in a sense. It's it's almost like going to lead to the story of the sex toys. No, we're not going there today. All right, so let's go to the next one. Dana.
Hi.
Hey.
Wait a minute. Are there any satsangs in Oregon, I'm in Hillsboro, which is close to Portland and that kind of thing?
I don't know. You mean live satsangs? I'm sure there are. I'm very sure Paul Hedderman's not there as the action figure. I won't be giving satsang there unless someone else made my schedule. I'm not sure. But there's probably satsangs.
Do you know what I would do about finding it?
I guess you could go to satsangs held around Portland or what.
How do you spell satsang? Is it
SATSANG? Or someone can do that for you on the chat.
Okay.
SATSANG, satsang. Or just, let's say, non-dual talks. Put it in your Google and see what comes up.
Okay.
Yeah. And then maybe tell me, and if I know the person,
Okay.
I've heard bad things about them, I'll let you know.
Okay. Yeah, I don't want to go to someone like that.
No. I'll save you the time and trouble.
Okay, that'd be great.
Yeah. Oh, no. All right. Anyone else?
Yeah, it's showing.
We're going to have to end soon. I think Amelia has a plan.
Ron raised his hand.
Who?
Ron.
Me.
Rob.
Ram.
Oh, Ram.
Hi,
Ram.
Paul. Yeah.
How are you?
I just want to I've just follow up on something you said, which I found. I'm glad you said it. You said, when Paul is in satsang here, that all the pains and all the problems disappear, and 20 minutes later, it starts to come down to a different state, and then the pain starts to come back again a bit. And I like that you said that, because sometimes there's a thought that the profound recognition of no self, that happens to nobody and all this stuff, that it's going to be some sort of permanent thing. And that what that says to me, what you just said, is that the reality never changes, but the recognition or the experience will never be an unbroken thing. And to just see that doesn't matter, because the experiencer the experiencer is not real in that sense.
Yes. You can say it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, but it matters. Yes. On some levels. Yeah. Yeah.
But
isn't that the dream of everyone? They want to have a stable experience. And this place is an experience that's not stable.
and it doesn't change.
Well, I think what the experience?
What's being pointed to?
Oh, what's being pointed? Well, hopefully what's being pointed to is what changes. Well, hopefully we're pointing from what we are and we're pointing at what we're not. So that would mean that's changing quite a lot, yes. But let's say, all right, you're looking at it the other way. What we're pointing to is the non-changing. But really, the way we're talking here is we're actually pointing at the ever-changing
Right.
from the non-changing. We want to talk about what we're not actually from what we are. We don't want to look for what we are from what we're not. Or we actually want to just tell the truth. That's what the head's doing. Yes. You see, that's the point. The head is looking for what it believes it is, but it actually believes it's what's looking. Yeah. So basically, the head is looking from what's not what we're not and trying to see what we are. We're actually seeing what we're not from what we are. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's the point. So
Right.
the whole point here is the way I saw how I was moving was I was trying to get out of shit that I was not in, and I was trying to get into shit that I was not out of. Yeah, this is the dilemma. Yeah.
So I'm following what you're saying. It collapses the belief in the seeking.
Oh, yes, for sure. If what's looking is what you're looking for, what's going to come under scrutiny is the you looking for, yes? Yeah? Because obviously the you, if it's looking for, doesn't know it's what's looking. Or it wouldn't be looking for it, yeah? So it's not about correcting the you. The you is the example of it. The you is perfect. It's the example we're looking for. I'm not that which is looking for what's looking. Yeah. Therefore, I am what's looking. Yeah, it's simple. But see, so you hear the statement, what's looking is what you are looking for. If you have a non-duality understanding, you're not going to try to figure out what's looking. You're going to go right to the you that's looking for, because that's the misunderstanding.
Right.
Because we are what's looking. That's the assumption, yes? So if the assumption, the presentation of non-duality is we are what's looking, yes? What does that direct us to look at? The you that's looking for, because that's the misunderstanding. We're not trying to correct the misunderstanding. The misunderstanding is the value, yeah? Because we see that misunderstanding as not us. That's the point. Instead of galvanizing the you as us and then trying to get better understandings or more clear understandings, it's the perfect example. The misunderstanding is the you that has an understanding. Yeah. Perfect. You couldn't get a better fucking example. Okay. So the assumption in non-duality changes how we look. Mostly everyone would be, I've got to improve the you that's looking for what's looking. Yes, because obviously it's because I'm not clear enough or pure enough that I'm missing it, obviously. Yeah. Remember when you were a kid and when I went to Catholic school, they would constantly tell us every week at Sunday at the religious meeting, which was God has three qualities. It's all knowing, all powerful, and all something. Yeah. So it's omniscient, it's omnipotent, and omnipresent.
Yeah.
And I humbly, really, as a kid, I was wondering why I wasn't running into it. Yeah. If it's everywhere, why the hell I am not running into it? I'm running into people I've been trying to avoid all fucking day. I'm not running into that which is omnipresent or it's everywhere. How am I missing it? Exactly. How are we missing it? Because there's an identification as the you that's looking for. and it's using what's looking to look for what's looking. So what needs to be negated is the you that's looking for. And there it is in all its glory. It keeps presenting its story. We're just giving it a new ending. Instead of, this is all about me, I'm not that. Yeah. Why do you think your book has so many chapters? Because at the end of every chapter, it's all about me produces another chapter. When you see I'm not that, it's a very short story. And it's been shared. We're all living out this opus fucking Odyssey it's like a cheap paperback. Yeah. I'm afraid of this. I do that. I can't. Oh, bop, beep, bop, boop, bop. Yeah. No. So what's looking? That's the established fact. Is what you are looking for. Well, that's the thumb that's sticking way out, isn't it? The you that's looking for. What's looking, which is right now, is what the you is looking for. The you must be fucking blind to miss what's looking. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Hallelujah. Why rely on a blind person to take you to the pearly gates? He can't see a shit. So that's the emphasis shift of non-duality. The shift of non-duality is incredible. If you read the book of AA, we finished now because we have a commitment here to have a dinner with lovely people. If in AA, this is how I read a statement. AA brings you through this effect, and you arrive at a place. You have ceased fighting everyone and everything, including alcohol. Now, that sounded like that's an order I have to fulfill. I have to cease fighting everyone and everything, and especially alcohol. And it immediately fucking tickles my powerlessness. Oh, another fucking thing I'm going to fail at. But it's really describing an effect. Yeah. You have arrived at a condition. You did not get there. You were brought there. And then you observe it. You didn't produce it or build it, and you observed, you've ceased fighting everyone and everything, at least for today, and especially alcohol. You have no interest in drinking it. Yeah. This is the emphasis shifts, right? You read one thing, it sounds like a call to arms. If you hear it from a self-centered ear. If you hear it from non-duality understanding, it's quite disarming. It's the emphasis. Non-duality shifts the emphasis away from the idea of self, yeah, and then into what we already are, which is quite relaxing and chilled out. Because if you are what you're looking for, you're going to be gazing a lot, because you're not going to be laser-like looking for it, because you are what you're looking for. It's just that it's like getting hit. How many times you need to get hit with an anvil? It's just gonna. It's like dropping something on your foot. How many times? Boom, boom. Yeah. All right. Thank you. We got to get going. So, anyone else? Thank you, Ram. Nice to see you.
Paul, I need to ask William, because Al said that he was waving his hand and I missed it.
Who?
William.
William, come on in.
You're muted, William. Thanks, Al.
Yeah, thanks,
Hello,
Al.
Paul. Hello,
Thanks
everybody.
a lot, Al.
Hello, Paul. Hello, everybody.
Hey,
Thanks for being here. I had an experience yesterday. I listened to your latest video from out of town. I don't know where you were, but you were wearing a very beautiful shirt. And
yes, thank you.
And obviously, message was very powerful for me. And I walked away from that message, and I said, "Oh, I think I really got this. I think I really got it. I felt so strong about it. All of the questions that were kind of like in the background, they just registered clearly. And I felt like I think I finally got what he's talking about. All of the different things. And I
Great.
felt great. But I woke up this morning like I feel like I fell out a window. Everything just went back the other way. Just there was a total like I guess fall or whatever. I don't know what it was, but it just like
that
it
happens a lot, William, because the system reacts to the news and it doesn't take it well.
I think that's what I thought you were going to say. It's like
True, I've had it many times.
the horses came out big time. The guns came out big time.
Yeah, it's like this is what I say. Get the great news and duck. Yeah. This is a mental punch is going to come. Of course, that shows that something is upsetting it, at least. The scariest is when it's all going well.
Yeah.
You
I mean, it lasted like a good part of the night last night, but then this morning, the rest of today was kind of like a downer.
Yes. But you know what? Let's say you may look like you're moving at the same speed and everything, but you get moved, yeah, like this. So it looks like it's the same thing, but now you're on a higher ground, so to speak, yeah. And you're going to notice that you may notice that you seem to be traveling lighter than you were noticing before. So, and this is it's like a duality burp, yeah? You get the thing and then the mental indigestion kicks in, the acid reflux, but then you're going to feel really good or different, yes.
I got it.
Everyone here has had it. It's just, yeah.
It's more or less can be expected. It's to be expected.
Yes.
That's what happened.
This is the point. Don't
Yeah.
you know when you like when I've gotten very, very sick at times, yeah, it gets really, really scary. And then the head realizes it's familiar. It has gone through that before and it chills out, right? It says, oh, I've lived through this. So this is sort of like the understanding of what reactions are going to be like. It gives you a sense of, okay, this too shall pass. So you don't go all fucking, yeah. Yeah. Because a lot of people have seen this. The same thing happens, what they would call it like the aperture opens, and then of course the mental state tries to close it, right? Yes. That's just the way it goes. It's like something comes in, open the curtains, and then the fucking mental state comes in and tries to close the curtains.
There's nothing you can do to.
Someone who's much healthier than you comes into your unhealthy little environment and all your curtains are closed. They open the curtains, the lights come in. As soon as they leave the room, their head closes the curtains. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I'm happy, William. Do not let it piss on what happened with you. Just enjoy that you've seen shit. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you. See, sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly.
Yeah.
You're always going to realize it's always going to materialize. Why? Because it's true. And also it's infinite. It doesn't come and go, and it can outweigh any finite activity. Yeah.
The thing was that it felt so simple. I said, how could I miss this? It's so simple.
Yes.
It's simple.
Yes.
And then I wake up, or I have half a night, couldn't sleep, as such. I don't know why I went to that. But when I did get it, or felt I got it, or thought I got it, or believe I got it, it didn't like stabilize. Let's put it that way.
Yes. Well, don't worry about that. Yeah. Stabilization doesn't mean the sea gets completely calm. It means you're balanced in your little boat. Yeah. Stabilization isn't like dead thing, it's the boat is stabilized. It can go, it's riding the ups and downs better. This is what's traveling lighter. Stabilization doesn't mean everything's in one line. It means your hull is able to move with the changing circumstances and situations. Yes, that's stable.
You got it very well.
Yes, and remember, because yes, what stabilizes the boat isn't what's rocking it. What's stabilizing the boat is our nature. Yeah. What's rocking it is the mental activity and perception of a world. Yes. And
Yes.
reality. Yeah. So we can't stabilize with that view, but what comes in from us to this view stabilizes it. You travel lighter. You'll notice, I've noticed, man, I noticed a long time ago that not everything didn't get great. What happened is it allowed me to travel lighter with whatever life had in store for me as an action figure. And I came to a humble recognition. What more do I want as an action figure? Yeah. If there seems to be, if you lean one way, it's heavy. And if you lean one way, it's light, and you can't seem to stabilize staying in the light side. Well, if something allows that to happen, hallelujah. Fucking hallelujah. Yes. Especially if you have tendencies to lean the other way, to the heavy side.
Yeah.
Yeah. So something has corrected and stabilizes, and then you travel lighter through the dualistic seas, so to speak. Yeah. Yeah. People want something to stabilize as if it's a one note that goes on eternally. There's a lot of notes playing and bouncing off that eternal note. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. What? Yeah. All right. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so let me say goodbye. And
Okay, and let me just let Dana know that Jed put a link for Amma's song in Portland. Okay, Dana?
Great. I saw it.
Okay, cool.
Okay, thank you.
don't mention me, bro, honey. I may not let you in. Andy S., nice to see you, bro. Mike, as always, thank you. Hey, Mike, I have something to do with that digital ocean. I'll call you tomorrow.
Okay. Call me in the evening if you can.
I will. I
It
will.
might be at the end of the night.
David, always,
Yeah.
I knew. Always. Hey, it's a pleasure, Anu. You'll be back soon, I hope.
Sounds at the end.
Yeah?
I'm back middle of February, Paul.
What?
I'm back on February 17th.
Wow, okay. We got Dana, Lindy, Alfonso, my friend from Brenda Lee. There it is. Nice to see you, Alfonso. I've heard you just triggered my hunger. Wow, that's great. Eric Platt, nice. Thank you for doing that link, Eric. And I think it's in the chat. If you want to see some of these things, Eric Platt has a whatever. I don't know what you have, but
a YouTube channel, and I sent her a link to my website too, but I don't want to, flog that here. But it's a YouTube channel. Yeah.
Yeah. It's Zen Bitch will have somewhere. We can post it, Mike. Or something.
Thank you. So are you coming to San Clemente? You said something about that.
I don't know. Well, that's not secure, but the man who tried to present San Clemente did such a great job. I'm thinking about it. Yes.
Okay.
Mike did a great job, but then he tried to poison me later on. I make feelings about if I should or I shouldn't.
I'm glad you're feeling better.
Yeah. Yeah. Gary, nice to see you. Yeah. And there's Mike G. Yes. All right. I'm looking, I want to look at the things behind you. Are those like medicine bottles up there? I want to make sure if there's any poison up there. Dennis W. Al Vegas. William S. I'm happy for you, William.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Don't let the guest ruin the party. Yeah. James Lebowski, my man. I'm always happy to see James Lebowski. Yeah. John K. Bill C. Always. U.S. Enterprise, the largest lazy boy I've ever seen. Jack P. Nice to see you, Jay. Floyd. Klaus. Klaus, I met you the other day. I saw you from my left eye.
Correct.
Yes,
And
nice
that's
to see you.
why I'm here.
Thank you for
No, thank you.
showing up. Thank you. Tej, my man. I haven't seen Tej in a while.
Yeah, I know.
If you have any other lingering doubts or questions about seeking, Tej is the person to talk to. He'll put you
That's
straight
funny.
like that.
How not to do it, yeah.
Yeah. Anyone have anything, talk to Tej. Yeah. He went down every road you could possibly go down. All right, Tej, thank you. I'll see you soon, I hope. Yeah.
Yeah, I hope so too, Paul.
All right. Christine Y, Kathleen Smitty, Fletch, Deborah from Alberta, Susanna W, my deep friend. Harry, oh ho. Harry up in Portland.
Hi, Paul.
Hey, hon. All's well, I hope.
Yeah, pretty good.
Fantastic. Great. I have a phone number here. I don't know who that is. And I think I got everyone. Yes. If I missed you, I apologize. And see you soon. We'll be here tomorrow for recovery. And then Saturday, we have a live meeting in Marin City and a Zoom at 1. Back to 1 o'clock for the Saturday Zoom.